Hey everyone, welcome back to Little Witch Academia. This is episode 6 review, and kind of, I'm gonna probably go back a little back and forth on like how I do these, from like a topical I did to, the events what happened in the episode. And I would say episode 6 and, the following episode, I am gonna do episode 7 on a separate video, are kind of generally about teaching and learning, I guess, is basically the concept of those episodes. But yeah, so I'm jumping to episode 6. We start off with Akko in class where they're teaching the girls how to turn animals into other animals, like a mouse turning into like a, I think Diana turned one into a unicorn. And the girls are practicing that, just learning how to transform animals into other animals. And Akko is having trouble with it. And for some reason, she can only seem to be able to transform her ears to animals. So she gets like donkey ears or rabbit ears and all that. But I guess obviously the message there is that she's being a jackass. So therefore she got donkey ears because she was trying to show off. So she messed up with that, the whole spells and stuff. In the meantime, we also have the Earl of Hambridge. He's paying the school a visit. Apparently, he's like the minister of the country there, I guess. So I don't really know how it works over there in England and all that, like British style areas. But I'm guessing he's an important figure, like a big government official that is paying the school visit because I guess it's something they do every other year. He visits to check on them, I guess. I'll get to more about him a little bit later in the episode, but yeah, there's a hinting towards a bigger plot in this episode. But at the same time, we also meet Andrew. I guess it's his son. He's there with another one of his friends. So we have a bunch of guys and a bunch of older men visiting the school, and obviously the girls are kind of fascinated by Andrew because I guess he's the pretty boy. And judging by the school, obviously they don't have any guys at the school whatsoever. Not even there's no male teachers. So I would see that some of the girls would see Andrew as being, kind of attractive to them because, again, there's no guys interacting with the girls on a daily basis. So to see another guy that's somewhat close to their age range, they didn't really specify how old Andrew really is, but I think he's the same age as Diana because both of them, he does reveal that they're childhood friends. They did know each other back in the day when they were kids. And I guess Diana was big into magic back in the day, and I guess Andrew kind of made fun of her for that back in when they were children. And he has this like disinterest of magic. He doesn't believe it's good for anything. Sort of similar to the dragon a couple episodes back that feels magic is dying in this world, and they need to get rid of it and replace it with something else. But yeah, so him and Diana have this shared past, but it doesn't come off as any romantic childhood feeling thing. Cause they could have done that easily with these two, but they fight more like brother and sister. They kind of argue over certain things, and the viewpoints on magic, should it stay, should it be removed, is their kind of thing going on. But through a chance meeting with Akko, she was kind of sort of punished. She was, sent to her. She had to stay in her room and practice the metamorphosis magic. That's what they're working on. So she missed the party and all that with the country, the minister visiting. They had this big party. They had this they did these demonstrations of magic. So Akko's left behind. So she has to stay in her room. But she kind of sneaks out after learning and remembering about the Fountain of Polaris, which is one of her cards she has from the Shiny Cherry, her card collection she has, and she learns that this fountain can basically give you great magic power, and so she goes out her way to seek this fountain because it is rumored to be at the school somewhere, and she remembers the building that it describes, and she decides to go out on her own and look for this. But in the meantime, again, she runs into Andrew, and he kind of makes fun of her a little bit, and sees her with rabbit ears because I guess she tried again. So now she's a rabbit, kind of sort of. So he's pulling her ears and everything, and he kind of is confused by her, and she tries to get back at him and shoots him with the spell. She thinks she's gonna turn him into an animal, but gives him donkey ears and a tail. So he's kind of like a little ticked off at her and a little embarrassed because it's like he can't go back to the party looking like that because it would ruin his reputation, all this whatever. So I guess she agrees that she's gonna find a way to reverse it. So her plan is to seek out the fountain. But in doing so, they get to the ruins finally, and Andrew, it was kind of a silly moment. He's reading a sign saying something about don't destroy this this seal, or are you gonna be attacked by someone defending the fountain? Akko just kind of doesn't hear him. He runs past him and knocks the door down. It was pretty funny. But yeah, they get attacked by a giant polar bear who was defending this fountain, and eventually they do get away from the polar bear thanks to Shiny Chariot or Ursula. I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking. But yeah, so she saves him and kind of puts the bear aside, and I guess the portal opens to the fountain, and Akko kind of wanders in. But at the same time, she gets a glimpse of a past, Shiny Chariot's past, of what happened with her, and it's kind of the same thing with I think in this flashback she's the same age as Akko. She's attending the magic school, and we get a preview that Shiny Chariot, or I guess Chariot is what they're just calling her now, wasn't a great magician either. She wasn't a great witch either. She was a lot like Akko, in fact, that she often screwed up. We see these in a couple of clips and flashbacks of her just messing up in class or doing something wrong. In the beginning, she was trying to help this old woman across the street, and she froze these cars that were moving around, and they got mad at her. So yeah, again, that whole scene showed that Chariot wasn't as a great witch either. She was a lot like Akko in a lot of ways. But we also learned that Akko didn't get this great power from the fountain because I guess Ursula shows up and tells her that you're technically not ready for this power yet. The fountain found you basically unworthy. Not that she's bad or she's evil or has bad intentions, but she kind of does in a way. She just wants a quick solution to getting magic power, and Ursula is just telling her that's not the way the fountain would grant you power. That you're not mature yet. You got here prematurely. Maybe when you get a little older and you understand a little bit more about magic power and all this, you may be able to get this fountain. So that's obviously, I think, hinting at a greater story later on with Akko finally getting this power. But to me, I think the big lesson, I mean, even Akko kind of feels the same way, that Ursula even tells her that deep down inside you felt that was wrong to do it this way. You knew it wasn't going to work out. Deep down, you knew the truth that getting power this way isn't the way to go about it. You need to do it the practical way like everyone else. You need to study, hit the books, learn the spells. You can't take a shortcut. And Akko just wants to be like Chariot. That's all she wants. She wants to be as great as Chariot. But again, in the end, even Akko kind of understood that she can't take a shortcut through this. There's no way. And there's a nice emotional scene that she just, again, I think it hits her that she knows what she did was sort of, wrong. She shouldn't have done it this way. And even obviously put Andrew in danger, herself in danger, and yeah. So I mean, but it's not like she was being punished. Ursula wasn't, slapping her on the wrist, telling her no. She was just basically telling her that you're not ready for that power yet. So come back when you gain a little bit more power and more knowledge. And that was kind of the episode right there. I mean, that was pretty much what kind of pace by pace the episode was about. But again, I think the end was the biggest message of all of the episode, just telling you that there are no shortcuts in anything. If you want to learn a certain skill, like for me, I'm an artist, I like drawing. I can't skip a lot of steps, even when you see these drawings here. I mean, I don't show you me drawing the skeleton basically of the figure, or looking at different poses to get an idea. I can't just I used to a long time ago draw by tracing. I mean, that's a shortcut method, but in doing so, I kind of learned how to get away from that and teach myself basically how to do how to draw. Even though I still got a long way to go. I'm nowhere near some of my favorite artists right now. But yeah, just again, I think the message again was about that whole thing there. The extras in the episode, I really loved in the OST they used during the Shiny Chariot flashback. That was just nice. It was a good, I think it's the theme, the opening, I think is what it was, and it was just more of orchestra, like an instrumental version, and using that plus the visuals, just seeing Chariot, all the struggles she went through to get where she's at now, or where she was, and what we know of anyway. And again, it hits home that Akko cannot cheat. There's no way you're gonna just skip And I think that's interesting. A lot of shonen anime don't really show you. I mean, I don't know what they call it, considered as shonen, but Magical Girl show, I guess we call this, don't really show you the struggles that most characters get through to learn power and learn how to use their abilities. Akko is one of those characters that, yeah, through guts and sure willpower, sure do it later. But right now, this episode just showed you that it's a lot of work. So yeah, and I guess it's great emotional acting from Akko's voice actress. I like her in like a bunch of shows she's done, and it's just amazing how she can do all these voices. And for me, it felt believable that I could feel Akko, I could feel her pain that she wants to, be good at something. She wants to achieve her goals. You can feel that through the acting on that scene. And the other side, Akko with bunny ears was pretty cute. I mean, I don't usually like hybrid, like furry type characters. I'm usually not into that. And they even gave her like a rabbit looking like a nose, so it's like they went like, an extra step and gave her that, which I don't mind. It is kind of cute, but I don't prefer. I just prefer regular just ears by themselves. I mean, like a rabbit girl or cat girl. Those are fine with me. I'm fine with that. And Andrew ex Akko, possible relationship, OTP. I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen. I don't really see those two as in emotion, like a romantic relationship. I just can't. Not sure what introducing him was for. All I can think of is again with the plot. Maybe they're hinting at a bigger plot. I know the minister of whatever said that he only visited the school as a waste of time for him. He said that he just needs to know their enemies. And he tells Andrew the same thing. You're going to learn who your enemies really are. And that just tells me maybe he sees the magical school as a threat. These girls are learning magic spells and powers that maybe he feels that I should keep them close, but not too close because they are, maybe he's afraid of them. So it's hinting at a bigger story later on. Maybe that, we're going to have, not, I don't think a war is going to break out, honestly. I just see them the witches are probably going to go back into hiding. Is probably what they're going to end up doing near the end of the series. I could see that the world isn't ready for magic, some kind of storyline like that. That some people just are afraid of it. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. And I don't think we've seen the last of Andrew. I think he will be back later. I mean, he is seen in the opening a few times. Well, only once, but still, he is in the opening, and that tells me that he's got a bigger role later on. He's not gonna just disappear on us. Whatever. Anyway. So that's episode 6. So I'll see you guys next time for episode 7.